I'm Alex Makovica from inside the Nebraska Soybean Board Studios with a look at your midday market report. We're joined today by Jeff Peterson of Heartland Farm Partners to break down some of the factors influencing today's trade. We start with this: corn, soybeans, and wheat trend lower on the day. Jeff, tell me more about some of the factors that are influencing that pressure.
This time of year, some of the factors that we really have right now is that we're getting past our harvest. We've got past our WASDE report. Now eyes in the U.S. are really focusing on what does the demand look like. And we've had some really good demand coming in for sales on both the corn and the soybean side. But in the back of every trader's mind is really that South American crop. And the thing that stands out to them is that we're picking up pace on plantings. Currently, they're at 67% planted, and that's gaining pace. And we're actually slightly ahead of where they would have been last year, and actually getting off to a better start than last year. Because if we remember back last year at this time, it got extremely dry during the month of November. And actually, we're seeing just the opposite now coming out of South America. They've actually got some really good rainfall coming. So the traders are thinking about, we're probably going to have a really good sized bean crop. But what they're thinking about, though, along with that, is that when are those beans going to get harvested? When will they be ready to export? What competition will that be coming to the U.S., but then they also want to start thinking about that safrinha corn crop, which will get planted right behind that. And so far, it's too early to worry about that crop, but they are going to watch that very closely going forward, Alex.
What else is important when it comes to the wheat complex, maybe that's influencing some pressure today?
Yeah, so as we look at the wheat side, the one item that we have there is that we continue to see some better rains falling across those hard red winter wheat areas. We know we started off those initial conditions were some of the lowest that we've seen on record. But as those rains fall, we know that there's better conditions. We know it'll get off to a better start, even though we know that doesn't have a lot to do with what the final yield is going to be. Anytime we see some pressure coming in on the wheat side, that definitely does put some pressure also over on the corn complex.
All right, appreciate the insight as always. Jeff Peterson is our guest of Heartland Farm Partners. That's a look at your midday market report. I'm Alex Makovica from inside the Nebraska Soybean Board Studios for the Rural Radio Network.